guys, welcome back to another episode of Red Rose Angling. I'm finally back down on Farnham. Now I say finally, I came to Farnham earlier on in the year, around about the time that all the COVID and the lockdown business was going on. I came down with my friend Gary, who I made a video with before, and we actually went to almost every single lake on the ticket and couldn't get a swim. We slept in the Yateley car park twice, 2 nights in a row, before we eventually gave up and just went home. So that was my first attempt to come down here and make a video. My second attempt, I managed to get down here and I went and fished on the Tarn. I did 2 nights, and within 15 minutes of getting there, I knocked my tripod over, which rolled down the bank, and my brand new camera fell into the pond. I did manage to get it and I tried it out, but unfortunately the damage was already done. I did catch a couple of fish as well. I caught a brace of 20s. Like I say, I had no camera, so I couldn't make any videos of that. So I've now got a new camera and I am back, and this time I've come to Badshot Lea Big Lake. I arrived here about 1 o'clock, 1:30 maybe. I had a good walk around the lake and I saw carp everywhere, both sides of the lake. Every little nook and cranny that you went into, anywhere that was snaggy or shaded, you'd see 2 or 3 carp sitting in there hiding. But I saw loads of fish here, just swimming around in the surface when the sun was up in the middle of the day. They just weren't interested in any mixers, but they were milling about here all day. The nearest angler to me is on the end of the new pin, and they're fishing sort of straight out away from here, and there's a catfish angler further round the corner on the railway bank. Other than that, there's no lines here, no angling pressure, and that's why I think the fish have drifted into this area. Whether or not they'll stay here for the night, I don't know. I've sort of gone out towards the middle into open water, close to where the marker poles are distance-wise, couple of wraps short of the marker poles. I put 20 spods out this afternoon and I've just left it, and there's been fish over it all afternoon. I would probably say it's been silverfish and bream and stuff. We've got probably an hour of daylight left now. Just got both rods out and topped it up with a couple more fresh spods. So yeah, I'm just going to sit back, chill out and soak in the atmosphere, and hopefully something will happen in the night. There's a fish just shown there. Let's see if I can show it you. There, you can just see the ripple of it. So there's been fish down this end most of the day. Right, get some food on. Fingers crossed I'll have something to report for you later. Right, that was a crazy few minutes. Very quiet night. Then at first light started to get a few liners. I had what looked like some kind of aborted take. I'm assuming it was a trailer, a fish trailing line, or fish had swam through and picked the line up, but it was definitely not a bite. So I brought that in, redid the rod, and shortly after I had a take. I landed the first fish, a grass carp, which I haven't really caught many of them, so it was quite a nice surprise. And as I'm about to weigh it up, the rod that I'd just put back out on the white pop-up went again, and crazily it was another grass carp. So I've just caught a brace of grass carp. The first one, obviously, when I got the bite, I had to zip it up and drop it in the margin. So this is actually the second of the 2 fish, and this one was £19.12. There we are. quite amazing really. I've only caught 2 grass carp in my life and I catch 2 in one morning. There we are, that's the first one anyway. £19.12. Look like they'd be an amazing fight, but actually they just come in like a bream, and then as soon as you put the net under it, they go absolutely crazy in the net. Very strange creatures. Not what we were after, but very welcome. I'll quickly show you the other side. There we go. That's the other side. Nice little result this morning. It's just nice to get a couple of runs. Yeah, not what we were after, but gets the heart racing a little bit when you get woken up to a one toner. So very happy with that. I'll get that one slipped back, and then I've got another one to show you. Guys, this is the second one. I'll try and be quick and get it back as soon as I can. Oh, there we are. Very lively, but I still want to try and get it back quick. Right, so I say this is the second one. This is actually the first fish I caught. This is the one that I was weighing when the rod went again. Quite a nice fish. Show you the other side. Oh. There we go, that's the other side. A little 16-pound grassy. Very welcome. Slip this one back. Right, for anyone who might be fishing Badshot and want to have a go at the grass carp, I'll show you the mix I've been using. I wasn't targeting the grass carp with this. This was purely to try and target the regular carp, also to keep the catfish and the bream at bay. The times that I've fished here in the past, if I've used anything with fish meal in it, I've tended to pick up either loads of bream or the odd catfish, and ideally I want to avoid the cats and definitely want to avoid the bream. Some different seeds, some hemp, a couple of tigers, some maize, and both the boilies that I'm using there are a mixture of the Nuts Plus from Mad Baits and the Wicked Whites, which is like more of a creamy nut-based boilie as well. There's no heavy fish meal in there, no pellet either. That seems to have done the trick, and the grass carp seem to have liked it, which I wasn't expecting. Both the fish I've caught on a white pop-up, but as you can see there's white baits in there. That would make sense. If you come into Badshot, give it a go, give that little mix a go, and hopefully you guys catch something on it as well. Right, we're just coming up to 6:30 now. There was a mad bit of action. Nothing's happened for the last 20 minutes or so, so I'm going to assume that even though I put quite a lot of bait in, I'm going to assume that I got cleared out. What I'm going to do now is bring both the rods in, get them both clipped up, get them back on the spot, absolutely bang on, get another maybe 10 spods over the top, sit it out for the rest of the morning. I mean, it's still very early, and I would say that, you know, most lakes the morning is probably the best time for a bite, as it proved this morning. Whether or not it's only grasses that are feeding at the moment, I don't know. The lake has been fishing very, very bad, which is why it's almost empty. I had a good walk around before I started fishing, and I think there was only one guy who'd caught a fish. That might be the reason. Maybe the carp just aren't having it at the moment, and maybe that's why I caught a couple of grasses. I think I'm going to move on today. I'm going to go to a different lake, get some breakfast on, sit it out for the rest of the morning, and then maybe come up with a plan around midday time, something like that. Right, I'm going to get them done. show you the rig that just caught me those grasses. Pretty simple really. It's a length of lead core leader. There's a heli-safe system on the bottom, but I'm leaving the collar in. There's not really anything out there. I've got no reason to drop the lead. That runs up to a no trace bead, so should I cut off above the leader, that bead will pop off and the fish will get away from the leader. The end section is basically a Hobo Armour spinner rig. It's a length of crimped armoured chod from Hobo Armour. That's to a size 4 offset with a little kicker, hook bead, a little white pop-up. Both bites came on the white. The other rod is basically an exact replica. The only difference is instead of a 14mm white pop-up on the end there, I'm actually fishing a 14mm yellow pop-up. Hobo Armour rig putty there just to let the pop-up sink down nice and slow, and that's it. Couldn't be simpler. If I need to change the hook, all I have to do is take off the kicker, slide a new hook on and slide the kicker back on. Simple really. That's what's done with the bites. Right, that's it. I've got the barrel loaded up, all the gear packed away. Nothing else has happened, no more bites, just that little flurry of action this morning. So that's it, I'm going to call it a day. Move on, see if I can find some fish somewhere else on the ticket. Thank you for watching this episode. Shouldn't really complain. Came on for a quick overnight and a couple of grass carp, not particularly what I was after, but you know, it's nice to get the alarms going and catch a couple of fish. So until the next one, thanks a lot and I'll see you again.